All right. I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Raka Kwadash. Kal Alali Amlah, Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Raka Kwadash. Yahweh is the true name for the Heavenly Father, the Creator, the Almighty of all things. Yahweh is His name. And Yahushai is the true name for His Son, our Lord and Savior, who's going to deliver the elect of the nation of Israel from the coming destruction that is about to come upon the earth. Alright. And double honors to our apostles of James Stone, and salutations to the Akim, who's pushing this word with our sincerity and in our truth. We are the real Israelites, man. And as we mentioned, the Heavenly Father has chosen us to be a special people unto Himself, but we have transgressed the laws of the Heavenly Father, and that is the reason why we are under law unto this very moment. Now, without further ado, as you can see, the topic at hand is the history of the Jews in Libya. All right, and concerning also, Simon of Cyrene. What was he doing in Jerusalem at the time? Because the scripture says, man, I'm gonna get into all of the scriptures, but it's just a history, of our people. In Libya, our people are scattered into the four corners of the earth, according to the prophecy among all people. The scripture said that. All right, and let me just remove this image for a while, and get let me just get that precept, as proof. Scripture in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, and bear with me because I have no intention. I don't know how long this lesson gonna go or this video gonna go, but if it edifying to you, then whosoever it is, you will take it or learn something, because we are the real Israelites, and the reason this is Deuteronomy 28 and 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people. Now, these are basics, precepts that we bring out very often. But we always have newcomer, and we always have people listening, so it's nothing wrong to we're supposed to repeat of these precepts and repeat anyway, and because this plays a large role in terms of our faith, because we believe that these prophecies and the curses and of Deuteronomy 28 chapter fulfill on us as a people. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from one end of the earth even to the other, and there shall thou shalt serve other gods which neither thou nor fathers have known. So the point is that the Lord said He's going to scatter Israel among all people, and that did happen. All right, that did happen. We as a people, we love to move about also. We have a nomadic tendency. So in Libya, we had communities, and that's where Cyrene, the word Cyrene, or the place Cyrene, we're gonna zoom in on that place. Now, Acts 2 and 5, it says, and there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven. Now, the Jews are from the word, that word Jews come from that word Judah. Now, Judah is the head tribe, and you have Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, which is classified as the Jews or the southern kingdom. Now, where were they dwelling in what, or out of every nation, dwelling in Jerusalem, out of every nation under heaven? They are from Israel, they are Israelites, but they are in what? They are scattered into every nation. All right, but what were they doing there? Now, this Deuteronomy 28:16 and 16, it says what? 3 times in a year shall all my meals appear before Yahweh, thy power in the place which ye shall choose, in the feast of unleavened bread, and in the feast of weeks, and in the feast of tabernacle, and they shall not appear before the Lord empty. I go through these precepts in a previous lesson. But the point is that 3 times in a year, the people of the Most High, are going to appear before the Heavenly Father, and that's what used to happen. Men out of all of these nations, let's jump to 10. All right, now it says we're dwelling out of every nation under heaven. Now, these are some of the nations: Parthian, Medes, and Elamites, and the dwellers of Mesopotamia, and in Judea, and Cappadocia, and Pontus, and Asia, Phrygia, Pamphylia, in Egypt, and in parts of Libya, or about Cyrene. All right, now we had a large community of our people that was living in Cyrene. All right, now we're gonna read a little history. We're gonna go into the word Cyrene, and we're gonna read a little history on Cyrene, the history of the Jews in Libya. The history of the Jews in Libya, stretches back to the third century BCE, when Cyrenaica was under Greek rule, and a lot of them was taken there by Antiochus, man, or Antiochus, however you want to pronounce it. Now, the Jewish population of Libya as part of the Sephardi Maghrebi Jews. Now, Sephardi or Maghrebi Jews are North African Jews, are native Jews who had traditionally lived in the Maghreb, all right, region of North Africa under Arab ruling during the Middle Ages. Established Jewish communities had existed in North Africa long before the arrival of the Sephardi Jews expelled from Portugal. See, so we had communities, in different parts of Africa, um, although among those regions, a very long while, man. See, so it says what the Maghrebi, Sephardi Maghrebi Jewish community continued to populate the area continuously until the modern times. So you know that population is very large, over there in Libya in Cyrene. Now, the oldest trace of Jewish existence in Libya appears in Sirte. What is this now? Also spelled Sirte, which is a city in Libya. Anyway, which some archaeological survey made in the Barian region, they dated its synagogue. Anyway, major Jewish settlement of Libya took place in the 4th century BCE. Ptolemaic Egypt had gained a large Jewish population after Ptolemy I sought an invasion of Judah, during which many Jews were carried off as war captives before later being freed, as well as voluntary Jewish immigration to Egypt for economic reasons. And Ptolemy's tolerant policy, which forward afterward in 312 BCE, Ptolemy settled many Jews in Cyrenaica, all right, or Cyrene, to strengthen his kingdom. So you get the point. You don't have to go any further. So they were taken there under what? Or but they were Hellenized, or by the ruling Greek kingdom. They were Hellenized and was taken there in Cyrene as the reasons stated. All right. Now this is so that's the reason why it mentioned we Jews devout men out of every nation under heaven, and Libya about Cyrene. So we're gonna zoom into this word Cyrene some more, because concerning the man of Cyrene that Yahushua carried the cross, he was an Israelite. All right, even they compelled him to do it, but nevertheless, he's an Israelite. Now, um, where am I now? Where am I? I'm gonna start at 1 and then I jump to 9. All right, this is Acts 6 and 1. And in those days, when the number of the disciples were multiplied, there arose a murmuring of the Grecians. Now, when you look up this word Grecians, you go back to Jews who adapt Greek custom, language, and whatsoever. meaning they act just like the real Greek, just like Greeks. They're following the customs and traditions of the Greeks against the Hebrews, all right, because their widows were neglected in the daily administration. So because the Grecians who are Israelite foreigners, they were, um, they came to Jerusalem, and they came back, but they were being what? Neglected, man. Zane, the people that were in the land, they neglect them, and that is the reason why, they scam them and look at them as dogs. All right. No, they didn't accept. They weren't being accepting of them, man. All right. But nevertheless, they are Israelites. All right. This is 6 and 9. Then arose a certain of the synagogue, which is called the synagogue of the Libertines, and Cyrenians and Alexandrian, and of them of Sicilia and of Asia, disputing with Stephen. Now you have a lot of people from out of the Cyrenian communities that were actually there at the synagogue, having debates and all of that, man. Saying, but they were Israelites. All right, Acts 11 and 19. Now they which were scattered abroad among the persecution that arose about Stephen traveled as far as Phoenice and Cyprus and Antioch. And we're going to look up this word Antioch, preaching the word to none, all right, but the Jews only. And some of them were men of Cyprus and Cyrene, which when they were come to Antioch, spake to the Grecians, preaching the Lord Yahushua. So that's the point. These men, none other but this gospel, um, with the teaching that Stephen was teaching of the gospel of Yahushua. He preaching what? None, the word to none but the Jews only. And some of these Jews only were actually men of Cyrene. They were citizens of Cyrene and Cyprus. All right. Now, this word Cyrene, let me just go right here. Were men of Antioch preaching. Yeah, Cyrene. This word Cyrene, where am I now? No, that's not the one. I think it's in Acts 2. Yeah. Prayer about Libya, about Cyrene. Alright. About Cyrene. Now this word Cyrene says what? Supremacy of the bridle. A large and very flourishing city of Libya, Cyrenaica, or Pentapolitana, which means 5 cities, about 11 miles from the sea. Among its inhabitants were a great number of Jews, whom Ptolemy the First Sota had brought there and invested with the right of the citizens. And we read that in the history. So you see, even the Bible, man, is on point. We have our people living in that region, for a very long while, man, and they were coming back. They did. A lot of them came back, and take heed to the gospel. A lot of them believed on Yahushua. Some don't. You see? Now, in Matthew 27 verse 32, and as they came out, they found a man of Cyrene, Solomon by name. Alright, him they compelled to bear his cross. See? So after Yahushua, it was after the Passover, Yahushua was crucified, right? Now, the Passover, a lot of these men from out of all these nations, as Acts 2 mentioned, Jews, devout men from out of every nation under heaven, came to Jerusalem to keep the Passover, keep the feast days, man. All right. So Simon, the man of Cyrene, was no different. He was an Israelite, that was living in Cyrene. All right, now this Acts 13 and 1. Now there were in the church that was at Antioch a certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, that were called Niger and Lucius of Cyrene, and Manen, which had been brought up with Herod the Tetrarch and Saul. Now let's look up this word, Antioch. Antioch, given against, capital of Syria, situated on the rivers and the river Orontes, founded by Seleucus Nicanor in the 300 BC, and named in honor of his father Antiochus. So that word Antioch or Antioch, is named after Antiochus. Many Greek Jews, meaning Hellenized Jews, Jews who took on or take on or adopted Greek customs. Seeing, but by their nationality, they are Jews, they are Israelites by nationality. It's just that they took on the customs and mannerisms of the Greeks. Many Greek Jews lived there, and it was here that the followers of Yahweh were first called Christians. See? So that's clear. I don't need to go over that. All right. Where am I now? I have something else. I think I have something else. Right. So this word Antioch, Antioch. Where am I? Yeah, that's what it means. And they give you the history about it. Now further down, Lucius. Let's talk about Lucius of Cyrene. Lucius was living in Cyrene or Cyrenaica. All right. Cyrenian king, Cyrenian, that is inhabitants of Cyrene. And we already detailed what happened in Cyrene already and read about that already. So Lucius, which was a prophet, it was a teacher, a man of Cyrene who was a prophet and a teacher of the church in Antioch. All right, perhaps the same one mentioned in Romans 16 verse 21. Now let's see what Romans 16 and 21 says. Timotheus, my fellow, my work fellow, and Lucius, seeing, and Jason, and Sosipater, my kinsman, salute you. Now, if this is the same Lucius that was mentioned, regardless he's an Israelite anyway, um, it would be Paul Kingsman. Now, my work fellow, and Lucius. Let's look up Lucius again in Romans, a man from Cyrene. So probably that's the same Lucius that was mentioned in Acts the 13th chapter verse 1. Now Lucius and Jason and Suspect, they are my kinsmen. Now let's look at what is our kinsman. Of the same kin, a kin related by blood. Alright? In a wider sense, of the same nation, a fellow countryman. And Paul is a what? Paul is an Israelite of the tribe of Benjamin. All right, so even Paul would fall under the category of being a Jew. All right, because Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, all right, is basically the kingdom or the Jew or Jews. You know what I mean? But that word Jews really come from Judah. All right, so hope this lesson was edifying, man, to the hopeful elect, to those who are to the listeners. Hope it was edifying to you until the next lesson. Shalom Akim.